Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for part 2 of the Q&A, so let's go ahead and get this started. All right, first question. Is there ever a time where we should consider a deload longer than a week? No. Okay, next question. No, just kidding. Let me get to the rest of his question. Been consistently lifting for a 1 to 2 years straight now with no injuries, which is rare for me. 5 weeks on, 1 week off, and I'm starting to feel very fatigued. Intermediate lifter, full-time job plus MMA 2 times a week. My lifting consists usually of 3x10 followed by accessories early in the week, and then 3x3 followed by accessories later in the week, upper lower split lifting 4 times per week. Typical day: squats 3x10, good morning 3x10s, 1 leg press 2 times, glute ham raise 2 times 10, leg curls 2 times 10. Okay, let's talk about your setup. You got fatigue management problems. Big time, brother. You're trying to do MMA and you're trying to do like a heavy upper lower split with a large amount of volume, and you're trying to go heavy and high reps both on your big lifts, something like a squat. All right, this is going to be a problem. I can tell you right now, if you're working full time, fairly busy life, you're doing MMA, I would take you over to conjugate. Like if you were one of my clients, we would be on conjugate. We would not be doing 3x10 squats. We'd be doing speed boxes once a week. You would have a max squat once a week. You would not be doing 3x3, right? And you wouldn't be doing 3x10. It's a lot of big volume. It's a lot of big volume. You're getting beat up because this is not appropriate fatigue management. And I know you're like, but I saw maybe someone else do something like this. Like, okay, number one, were they bulking? Right? Were they in a calorie surplus? Are you bulking right now trying to run something like that? Were they on gear? Yeah. Probably so. So if you're getting that beat up, and again, you're doing five on, and then a deload every 6 weeks, you need to get on conjugate. You need better fatigue management. This is just completely inappropriate. It's inappropriate. You're going to do so much better if you go over to the system. You really will. I swear to you, I promise you, give it a try. You're going to get less beat up, and you're going to get more out of it, and it's going to carry over better to your MMA because you're going to have better force production from doing all the speed boxes and the max work. Okay, you're going to get better force production. Just trust me on this. What you're doing is not appropriate, and no, you don't need to deload for more than a week. Right, that's a problem. Something's really wrong if you're feeling a need to do that. All right, next question. I came back to lifting in May after only doing home workouts with 30-pound dumbbells since March of 2020 because of the gyms being closed. In that time, I went from 165 to 170 pounds at a real 5'9" to currently about 190. Currently, my lifts are just barely into intermediate range based on strength standards chart since doing a novice program to quickly get a lot of strength back and hopefully some novice-style recomp to an extent. My question is, when in general should I think about cutting? I know it's usually when you get to a certain body fat level and your strength gains slow way down from stopping the bulk, but not sure my situation since my unintentional bulk was not accompanied by strength training / optimal muscle growth. Yeah, because if you just did dumbbell stuff at home and you're intermediate, you gained 20 pounds, it's mostly fat. So my advice, are you uncomfortable with your body fat now? Right? Are you uncomfortable with it? Are you saying, hey, I can't handle this amount of body fat that is on me at the moment? You want to get down to a healthier level. I'm going to say get in and go ahead and cut if that's the case. Right? I mean, it's one thing to be 190 and to be reasonably jacked at 5'9". Another thing when you know you gained mostly fat. You want to do a 15-pound cut, I wouldn't blame you. I would not blame you at all. And then you will be able to bulk. And you need to come in and lift. And I hate it when people say, well, I'm not going to start lifting hard if I'm doing the cut. No, get in and do some barbell training. Get in and lift heavy. You need to preserve muscle too on that cut. So yes, you need to be doing that. Otherwise, you're losing muscle with the fat. You want to lose only fat. Maybe even gain a tiny amount of muscle. Okay, that's an option. Your other option, if you say, okay, I'm a little fluffy, but I want to get a lot bigger and stronger, and I don't mind where I'm at. If that's where you are, then by all means, do a slow bulk. What I mean a slow bulk, a pound a month. Go ahead and spend the year, a whole year, getting up to 200. You'll gain muscle. Your current body fat, you'll gain muscle pretty well even on that slow of a bulk. Right? And then you can cut. What I don't recommend, people say, but Jason, you always tell these skinny fat guys not to cut. He's not skinny fat. He's already been training. He's been working out and gained 20 pounds and is 190 pounds at 5'9". He's not 170 at 5'9" and feels like he's skinny fat. Okay, because I'm not even telling him to cut down to 170. These skinny fat guys cut down and they go all the way down to 140 and still feel fat. See, I'm not telling him to lose 50 pounds to get to 140. Just trying to keep him in a normal, healthy body weight if he makes that choice. So just to clarify that point. But really, it's going to be a matter of those perspectives of which of those you're willing to live with. I don't think either one is the wrong decision, but you need to pick one of those two. I think any choice but one of those two is probably not a good idea. All right, next question and last question of the week. Hi, Jason. Do you think if I focus on the close grip bench press after the max effort lift that it would develop good enough for chest development? I don't mean as my only chest press, but rather instead of the medium to wide grip, as I find close grip feels the best on my shoulders and I'm stronger with it. Thanks, Jason. Use me as an example. I didn't get the best chest development doing this. And I was way stronger on the close grip. I was stronger on the close grip because my chest was weak. You see the issue here? You're going to pick the less chest dominant press because it feels more comfortable. And because of your weak chest, you're stronger at it. Use me as the example of someone who messed up with this personally while being good at coaching their clients, did not coach themselves very well, and asked, do you think this is a good idea? Because this is exactly what I did. Okay. And if benching doesn't feel good on your shoulders, it's time to assess your technique. Right? It's time to assess your technique. What's going on with your technique and form? Are you arching? Are you trying to bench flat back? Are you tight? Are you pulling the bar apart or your wrist stacked? Why is the wide grip hurting your shoulders? And again, you're talking about feels best. Discomfort, and sometimes even pain, is not a sign of injury or a problem. The bench press is never a comfortable lift. The amount of tightness involved in a correct bench, it is always going to be a very uncomfortable lift. But if your shoulders are bothering you and you're not uncomfortable everywhere else, I can tell you what your issue is. You're loose. You're loose on the bench. You need to learn to dig your feet and ass in better. You need to learn to get those scapula back. You need to learn to pull that bar apart as hard as you can. You need to find the appropriate touch point on your chest because it's not right. These are technical issues. Maybe your wrists are bent. You're not stacked correctly. You need to figure out how to bench. This is probably the problem without seeing form videos to look at it. This would be my advice. And I'm not saying you have to do a bunch of wider grip benching necessarily either for your reps. I mean, you can do a bunch of dumbbell work and incline and whatever else you need to do. But you do need to address that point. You need to address it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.